Ever wonder what makes you really loyal to a brand? Truly a fan for life? Well, it's definitely not an accident. It's a strategy. And in the next few minutes, we're going to pull back the curtain and show you the blueprint for creating those lifelong customers.
So, let me ask you this. Think about your favorite coffee shop. Why do you drive past maybe 2, 3, even 4 other places just to get to that one? It's not just coffee, right? It could be your favorite phone, your favorite brand of jeans, whatever it is, you stick to the one you love. That decision, that gut feeling of loyalty, it all boils down to one single powerful idea.
And that idea? It's all about customer value. That's it. That's the secret sauce. It's the one thing that can turn a person who buys from you once into someone who is a die-hard fan for life. So what on earth is it? Okay, so let's break it down. It really starts with a kind of mental equation. In the marketing world, we call it customer perceived value, or CPV for short. But really, you can just think of it as this silent, super fast calculation that clicks away in your brain every single time you think about buying something.
At its heart, it's super simple. It's the difference between what you get from a product or service and what you have to give up to get it. That's the core of it. But, and this is the crucial part, you're not making this decision in a vacuum. You're always comparing that trade-off to what the other guys are offering. The best way to picture this is to imagine a scale inside every single customer's head. On one side, they're piling up all the benefits, all the good stuff they get. And on the other side, they're stacking up all the costs, everything they have to give up. The sale is literally won or lost depending on which way that scale tips.
So, let's talk about that benefits side of the scale. What are we actually talking about here? It is so much more than just the physical product. Yeah, quality is a big one, for sure. But it's also the amazing service you get, the friendly person who helps you, even the way the brand makes you feel. Every single one of those positive things adds another weight to this side. Okay, now let's flip over to the other side, the costs. And just like with benefits, it's not just about the money. The price tag is obvious, right? But what about the customer's time, their energy? What about that little bit of mental stress, that worry about, did I make the right call? A company's job isn't just to have a low price, it's to make all those other costs feel smaller too. Let me give you a great real-world example of this in action. Think about a huge Caterpillar tractor. A construction company could probably find a cheaper tractor somewhere else, right? But they're not just buying a piece of metal. They're buying reliability. They're buying the promise that it won't break down. That benefit, the peace of mind, the amazing service, it's so huge that it makes the higher price cost feel totally worth it. That right there is a massive win on value. All right, so you've nailed the value equation. You made the sale. Awesome. But now what? How do you make sure that person comes back again and again? Well, the secret isn't in the sale itself. It's in everything that happens after they buy. The magic word here is satisfaction. And honestly, it all boils down to one thing: expectations. See, satisfaction is just that feeling you get when you compare what a product actually did versus what you expected it to do. It's performance versus expectation. That's the whole game. And you can really think about this in 3 levels. If the performance doesn't live up to what they expected, well, you've got a dissatisfied customer. If it matches their expectations, you've got a satisfied customer. That's okay. But the magic, the place where loyalty is born, that's when you exceed their expectations. That's when you create someone who is genuinely delighted. Think about JetBlue back in the day. What did you expect from a cheap airline? A tiny, cramped seat, maybe a sad little bag of peanuts, if you were lucky? Then boom! JetBlue comes along with leather seats and live TV at every seat. They didn't just meet expectations, they absolutely shattered them. And by doing that, they created this army of delighted, super loyal fans. So, we've got it. Delighting customers is the key to getting them to return. And that leads us to our final big idea here, and maybe the most important one of all: how to turn that return visit into a genuine, lifelong relationship. Okay, listen up. If you only remember one single number from our entire chat today, please let it be this one. It can cost 5 times more to go out and find a brand new customer than it does to just keep the ones you already have happy. Let that sink in. 5 times. This is why building relationships isn't just some fluffy, feel-good idea. It's a straight-up business necessity.
And that's where something called Customer Relationship Management, or CRM, comes into play. It sounds technical, but it's really just the art and science of managing every single interaction a customer has with your company. Every touch point. From the first ad they see, to the website they browse, to a call with customer service, each one is a chance to either build that loyalty up or tear it down.
So how do you actually do it? Well, here are 3 really solid ways to build stronger bonds. First, you can add financial perks. Think loyalty programs, punch cards, that kind of thing. Second, you can add social benefits, like remembering a customer's name or personalizing their experience. And third, you can add what are called structural ties, basically making it so easy and convenient to stick with you that switching just feels like a hassle.
Okay, all of this sounds great in theory, right? But let's see how it all comes together in the real world. I want to tell you a quick story about a little coffee shop we'll call the Daily Grind. So the owner, let's call her Sarah, was in a tough spot. Her coffee was actually really good, but she was stuck in this endless price war with a big coffee chain just down the block. People would pop in for the cheap coffee, but they'd never come back. Her business was built on a revolving door of one-time customers. Instead of dropping her prices even lower, she did something kind of radical. She just started talking to people, and what she found was a total game changer. She realized her customers weren't just there for a caffeine fix. They were students, freelancers, remote workers. They were looking for a third place, somewhere comfortable that wasn't home and wasn't the office.
And that insight changed everything. She stopped thinking about the product, the coffee, and started thinking about the total value. She jacked up the benefits by installing faster Wi-Fi and tons of power outlets. She added that financial reason to come back with a simple buy 9, get 1 free loyalty card. And she built that social connection by hosting things like open mic nights and local art shows.
The result? It was amazing. The Daily Grind wasn't just a coffee shop anymore. It became their coffee shop. It became the heart of the neighborhood, a real community hub. Sarah completely got out of the price war because she was now winning on a whole different battlefield. The battlefield of value, satisfaction, and real relationships.
Sarah's story is the perfect example of how powerful this stuff is when you put it into practice. So let's wrap this up and boil it all down to 3 key takeaways you can start using right away.
Okay, here are the 3 big rules. Rule number 1, it's all about perceived value. Remember, value is a feeling, not just a price tag. Your goal is to always tip that mental scale in your favor. Number 2, satisfaction is your superpower. Good enough isn't good enough. Aim to delight, to completely blow past their expectations. And finally, rule number 3, relationships are worth way more than transactions. The real gold is in the customers you already have.
So, I'll leave you with this one final thought to chew on. Whether you're running a huge company or just getting started with an idea, stop asking, how can I satisfy my customers? Start asking a much bigger, much more powerful question. How will I create delighted customers? Because the answer to that question, well, that's the real secret to winning them for life.